Today, we have two cases. The first being a couple who think, well, we shouldn't pay rent. This place is being foreclosed on. The second, well, she beat up her mom. Enjoy.
-03190 council appearance.
Good CD. Chris Brown representing plaintiff.
Is that your names?
Yes.
You can come up to the table. State your name for the record.
Mallory Katz.
Jason Williams.
Mr. Williams, I think you stormed out of my courtroom last time. Is that correct? Upset? Frustrated? Okay, you sit, you on one, there's one seat for one for the other. Okay, today was the date that was set to proceed with the hearing for non-payment of rent. I vaguely remember there being a concern about the condition of the property. Is that what it was?
The foreclosure.
A foreclosure.
Property taxes.
Okay, but this is for non-payment of rent and you're,
I made payments. I have proof that I made payments up until we received the foreclosure.
okay, so you made payment up until you
Yep,
found out
up
the
until-
property was in foreclosure.
Correct.
Is your,
Correct, Your Honor.
and when was that, ma'am?
We received the paperwork in almost the second week of August. And we made I made my last payment in September of 2023. And it was $220 because I was struggling at the time and I had to basically choose between utilities and stuff like that. So I had lost my job and
So you're saying that you made all of your rent payments on time up until you got that notice? Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
and what is it that you brought with you that you,
We have the foreclosure paper and also there's supposed to be a court date due tomorrow.
So, because the place you rent may be going into foreclosure, you feel your obligation to pay rent is over.
For $2,166.73 for the foreclosure due for 1516 South Pennsylvania Avenue.
that's for taxes, is what you're saying?
Property taxes, correct.
Okay, what's the red form?
The red form was the first date that they showed me that the foreclosure, I had a guy come walking on my door and knocking on my door and giving me this paper,
Okay,
asking me if I was the owner. I said, no, I'm the renter. He said, well, the owner basically has property taxes. Do you know about it? I said, no, I don't. I contacted Garno. All he told me was it will be paid. He never said when, he never said what. So I was like, this is crazy.
okay. That was back when again?
This paper was given to me, I believe, in the second week of August.
So that was August. We're now in February. You not paid any rent
No, I did not.
and the property's not been foreclosed on.
No,
So you've been living for free since
I've
August.
been paying utilities. Yes,
You've been living for free since
Yes.
August.
yes. Because
And
of this foreclosure.
you believe that he could pay the taxes without you paying your rent.
Well, what I said was, how come I was never notified about this,
Notified about what?
the foreclosure?
Well, you were, that's how you got that.
Yeah, and I didn't want to pay it because if I'm gonna pay rent, is my house gonna get?
You're not
foreclosed?
responsible for paying that.
I know,
That's the
but
landlord.
I know, but is the house gonna get foreclosed?
Possibly, but that
I know, but
foreclosure is outside of.
know I
Whoa,
have-
whoa, whoa,
but
whoa,
I
whoa,
have to
whoa,
start
whoa, whoa.
saving
Whoa,
money.
whoa, whoa. You know what whoa, whoa means?
Yes.
That means you're talking over me.
Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay, so foreclosures, when you don't own the property, you can't necessarily control when there's a lien that could be foreclosed on. If there's a foreclosure and they take your rent and they no longer own the property, then you may have a cause of action against them because they took some money from you when they weren't the lawful owners. But to best of the knowledge that we have and the information that you're providing me is that as of today, they're still the lawful owners of this property, unless you have something that shows me that they're not.
Correct. But this is for tomorrow, their court date in Mason for the foreclosure. So I said, is it gonna get paid? Because I have to save money now to move. Thankfully, it's tax time, so I can, find a new house.
You save
and
money.
Save money?
You haven't paid rent since August. Did you put your money in your rent aside?
I had to pay utilities. I have 4 children. I have to.
You gotta pay utilities. What's that got to do with your rent?
I lost my job. I was trying.
That's unfortunate, but what do none of us get to live for free just because we lost our job or that we have to pay utilities? It's still a responsibility that you both have if you live in a property.
Yeah.
And you don't get to say, oh, well, this property may get foreclosed on 6 months from now, so let me hold my rent. And then now you come to me 6 months later and, oh, I gotta save. Well, you had ample opportunity to save because whereas most people were paying rent or mortgage since August, you were not.
Yes.
So the whole saving thing that goes out the window. All you can show me right now is that they are no longer the lawful owners and or that there's a condition with the property that essentially interfered with your quiet enjoyment or your ability to live there safely because it was not inhabitable. That's what you're to show me. If it's not foreclosed on yet, it could be saved if you had paid your rent. He could go and pay that $2,000, you think, you know? You think?
I don't know because it's a foreclosure for a property that isn't mine. I don't own it. That's why I texted Garno and I said, is it gonna get paid? And he said, yes. And I said, when? And he never wrote me back. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm left in the dark here. Like he never gave me no answer that I was looking for. So I stopped contacting him.
Okay. If you were concerned though, also that it was going to get foreclosed, then why didn't you vacate the property and find a new place?
Because I said I lost my job and I've been looking for one, but I have one now. So
Okay.
I've been saving money.
Okay.
And now that we have money saved, we can move at the end of this month. I can pay off whatever needs
Okay,
to
so
be paid in
maybe
the ledger.
you and Mr. Brown should talk privately about that.
I agree because I have not got to talk to him about this at all.
Do you have a device you can get on Zoom?
No, I don't have a working phone.
We'll get you on the court device because maybe you all can work something out in lieu of going this route, because if the property was foreclosed on already and they're accepting or expecting you to pay them rent, then I can understand your position.
Mhm.
But to say that the property is going to be foreclosed on in the future, if I have rental property, investment property, and there's renters in there, my expectation is that they're going to pay me and I can use that to pay the taxes and the mortgage and or whatever liens are on there. If I don't get that money, how am I supposed to pay the bills?
At the time, I was thinking single mom, have to pay utilities. I lost my job. Do we want to be homeless or do we want not to have electricity?
No,
So,
you made in the circumstances you were in, you made a smart decision. Let me tell you something here. I was raised by a single mom too, and she always said if you had hard times, you make sure you keep the lights on, but she also said you pay the rent first. You keep a roof over your head.
I was up until I got my foreclosure
you keep a roof
paper.
over your head first, because you don't want to be out there in the
200.
street. And you don't live there alone. You live there too?
He's there on and off.
But
he works a lot, so you know,
I'm asking him why you're his mouthpiece. His mouth works.
sometimes.
His mouth works. You live there too, sir?
Yeah, be there.
Yeah, it's just not your only responsibility. That's why
Yeah,
his
but
name is listed on here.
It was our agreement to not pay until we figured out what was going on with the foreclosure. Honestly.
I can recognize that, but typically when you do those things, you're supposed to make what's called a good faith decision. That means you escrow your rent.
I did, and I contacted DHS and I got denied. I don't know why. I do have denial papers from DHS.
No, good faith means you escrow your rent. That's
I know.
That's what you were supposed to do.
I know, but I was trying to ask for help at the time is what I was saying through DHS, and I'm thinking I lost my job.
To try to get some assistance?
Yes.
And you don't have anything pending right now with DHS, do you?
No.
Okay. Let us get you. Oh, get that. I was gonna say, what's that? That's
Trying to mute it.
no worries. We'll get you to private meeting room. You can talk to Mr. Brown and see if you all can come to a resolution short of me having to continue with this hearing, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're
Your Honor.
welcome. Council appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Case Markarian appearing on behalf of the people.
Jacob Riley on behalf of Ms. Maduro.
Okay, Ms. Witherall, today was the date and the time set for a pretrial on an assault and battery. Was there an offer on this?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm in the process of writing a plea sheet for you now. The offer conveyed that is my understanding will be accepted is to plead to an added count 2 of disorderly jostling under MCL 750.1671L with a stipulation to a term of probation, mental health screening, and to follow all of the recommendations in anger management in exchange for dismissing count 1.
That's accurate.
Yes, it is.
You have anything else pending?
Let's have another matter in the 55th District Court. Which I believe is set for term selection. Understanding that court is treated essentially.
Gotcha. Okay, Ms. Witherall, that's accurate. You want to accept an offer to plead guilty to disorderly jostling with a stipulation, which is an agreement that you have that you will participate in a term of probation and be screened for mental health treatment.
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Okay, Ms. Witherall, before you can accept this offer and plead guilty, you have to understand certain rights and you have to be willing to give these rights up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
That first right is your right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to require the prosecution to prove your guilt at your trial. You have the right to a jury trial. The prosecution has to prove each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at the trial. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to cross-examine or question and confront in court any of your accusers or witnesses that are called to testify at your trial against you. You have the right to subpoena witnesses on your own behalf to testify. You have the right to also present evidence at your trial that you believe show a defense of the charge being brought against you. Do you understand each of those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you willing to give up all of those rights today to enter a guilty plea to the added count 2 of disorderly jostling?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anybody threatening you to get you give up those rights?
No, Your Honor.
Has there been any promises made to you to get you to want to waive your rights and plead guilty?
What was that? I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Has there been any promises that are making you want to waive your right and plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that a guilty plea could result in a conviction that you may need to report to your current employer, or you may need to report this conviction on a future job application?
Yes, Your Honor.
And a conviction of this kind could also impact where you can travel on vacation or where you can get immigration status. Do you understand that?
What was that, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
If you plead guilty, this could result in a conviction that could impact what countries you can visit on vacation, or it could impact what countries you can get immigration status to. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. As to the added count 2 of disorderly jostling, do you plead guilty, not guilty, or stand mute?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you are guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Actual basis?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Witherall, on or about August 18th of 2021, were you and your mother, named Teresa Jackson, present at or near 611 East Cesar Chavez Avenue in Lansing?
What was that? I'm sorry.
On or about August 18th of 2021, were you and your mother, Teresa Jackson, present at or near 611 East Chavez in the city of Lansing?
Yes.
Okay. At that location, did you Well, did you get into an argument with your mother?
Sure.
Okay, did you at some point assault your mother? Did you strike her physically?
Yes,
And this was not done in self-defense, is that correct?
correct.
She didn't ask you to hit her or agree to it. In other words, she did not want that contact with her. Correct?
Sure.
Sure, what does that mean?
It's a yes or no.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I apologize.
Is that-
Any other questions?
Your Honor, would you be willing to take judicial notice that this was in Ingham County? Since we have the factual basis for the city of Lansing.
Okay, she's not sure where it was.
do you agree that this occurred on East Chavez in the city of Lansing?
Yeah, it's over nearby a bar or something.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any additional factual basis?
Nothing further, Your Honor. People are satisfied.
Thank you. The court is also satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Finding your plea to be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. I'm gonna set this matter for sentencing. Do April 2nd at 9. April. You can do it sooner, because I don't think she needs to be on supervision. Yeah, I don't need to necessarily refer her. I just have to set for sentencing because there's a victim.
Okay, February 27th at 9.
February 27th at 9. Do you have any questions for the court today?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing further from the people. Thank you.
May we address bond, Your Honor?
Sure.
Ms. Witherill has been in custody since January 5th. She currently has no bond in this case. She's on remand. She does have a cash bond on her 55th district case. She tells me she would be able to post that if she were able to get a bond on this case as well. My request would be that bond be reinstated, even if a GPS tether is required. I think Ms. Witherill would have no issue.
August 30th, 2021, defendant failed to appear. January 4th, 2022, defendant failed to appear. February 6th, 2023, defendant failed to appear. Flight risk. I don't wanna keep looking for her. I want the matter resolved. We'll see you at your sentencing. Bond is denied. You're all set.
Great, but this is my house.